What if you don't need to live in pain and suffering? What if you could give up your karma and have a life of abundance and joy? What if you could start creating magic and miracles that you never thought were possible? Get ready to listen, share, and experience the magic that is you. Now, here's the host of Creating Abundance with Ease radio show, Dr. Helen Gitlevich.
Welcome. I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease. And today we're going to talk about forgiveness and karma. Magic is everywhere and abundance is everywhere. And I'm a medical doctor who turned into Akashic Record teacher, consultant, Access Consciousness Certified Facilitator, 3-day Body Facilitator, being you facilitator. So many hats that I can wear. And I've been searching throughout the whole universe of knowledge to know what is helpful, what can people change in their lives. And I've been facilitating classes around the world, kind of like changing people's lives. And my invitation is connect to me. Ask me, how can those tools change your life? Or check out my website, see which classes I'm offering. Forgiveness and karma. A lot of people think about karma or not think about karma, but their life a lot of times are affected by it. What if we can change our karma? And what is karma? What your life would be if you did change your karma? Because a lot of karma is connected to your guilt, shame, blame. A lot of your connection that might not be working or might be working connected to karma. What if you could let go and have forgiveness and love for you and everybody else in your life? What would that create for you and for your loved ones? So, what is karma? People describe it as past life, unfinished business. It's all correct. Basically, it's any unfinished business, any contracts you made in any lifetime, create some sort of unfinished loop where we keep trying to recreate it and finish it. Either complete our contract or kind of like did what we promised, or kind of like do our obligations. What are the examples of karma? One of the biggest one is marriages. When you go through the marriage, if you think about your vows, and everybody does vows during marriage, doesn't matter what your religion is, it's always about love and cherish in some way, or kind of like take care of, be there for each other. So there is so many variations on the theme, but all of them says till death do us part. Every religion, every cult, they all have theme in kind of like common. It's always about till death do us part. Guess what? Soul being never dies. It goes from like we have an immortal soul. Uh, we kind of create different bodies, different souls, even for different cultures. And we go from lifetime to lifetime, going through experiences. We get married, we get businesses, we get kids, we get parents, and all of that keeps recreating itself. Because if we promise to cherish and love and be for each other and take care of each other till death do us part, well, the soul didn't die. So the next lifetime, you're looking for that special someone that is your previous mate, previous wife, previous husband, previous boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it is. And if you find them, you repeat the cycle. If it was a good marriage, fine. If it was a bad marriage, not so fine. So, what can we do about it now? Because you say, okay, so I'm stuck with repeating the cycles over and over again. Oh, and wait a second. We have cycles of killing each other and torturing each other because so many lifetimes we might have killed people or they killed us and we promised revenge, or they killed our loved ones and we promised revenge, or you killed their loved ones. We've had so many lifetimes. Think about it. Earth's been around for trillions of years, right? Or at least millions of years. There are other planets that have been for trillions of years or more. Think of our universe. Do you think we've just been on just one planet and we've been just humans? Okay, let's not even talk about that. Let's talk about human existence. Let's say Homo sapiens been for about 30 years, 30,000 years, according to the evolutionary theory. 5,000 years according to Bible. In Hindu, I think it goes into, I'm not sure how many hundred thousands of years. So there is disparity between different time frames. Yeah, I think in Hindu there was 3 or 5 different civilizations, and each one came and left, almost like Matrix. And how much of that is actually Matrix, virtual vibrational realities? There is so much to talk about it. So where does all that information comes from, you ask? It's a lot of it from like a lot of people channeled it. A lot of people kind of like looked in Akashic Records. Prophets brought forth information. There is a lot of ways people access that field of infinite possibilities, which I've learned was called Akashic field. In Hindu um, theology, or call it whatever you want, it's etheric realm dimension where everything is written. All there is like infinite possibility of past, present, and future, and everything is recorded from every thought, feeling, and emotion to action. Um, every possible thought, feeling, and emotion and action, even that you didn't act on it, it's still recorded there. So you can see infinite possibilities of everything. It's a library of a sort, and yet it's much more than that. The information is there about every previous lifetime, and you can go and ask questions. Different people accessed it at different time. More famous are Edgar Casey, Helen Blavatsky, and others. There is a lot of other people who access Akashic Records. There are different schools of Akashic Records. And yet there is so much misconception about what Akashic Records are. Because people think of it, it's outside of them somewhere. Um, no. Akashic field is pretty much inside of us because we are infinite beings. It's written on our DNA, RNA, it's our heart awareness. And a lot of people say, but people psychic, they should see through the third eye. Yes and no. Third eye is more about your mental awareness, and it's very limited. It sees only what's already fixed. That's why when psychic sees the future, they see only one possibility, maybe 2, maybe 3. It's that lower aspect of Akashic field, which probably not Akashic field, but it's called psychic realm. That's where you see already the polarity of positive, negative, angels and demons, entities. It's somewhat physical, but already etheric. Akashic field is beyond that. It's a vibration of infinite love, infinite oneness. It's pretty much God consciousness, or as I said, a lot of people, or just consciousness. And you can access it through different methods and modalities, through meditation, through um, clearing your belief system. Prayer is one of the major ones nowadays. It's called sacred prayer in some schools, or just a prayer, which is a vibrational frequency that allows you to bypass your conscious mind and go into the field of consciousness, universal consciousness, God consciousness, whatever it is. And the less limitations you have, the more you can access that knowledge. A lot of times, that's where you see your karma. And by karma, I don't mean kind of like your past. This is your past and that's not changing. No, everything changes. You can change your past, you can change your present, you can change your future by letting go your belief system, by letting go of your anger, letting go your guilt. What if you don't have to fight anybody? Because what if all that fighting came from something that's not even relevant to this lifetime? Let's say have a situation at work. You hate your boss. How many times you hear that? And with that, you have no idea why. Well, boss might be pretty bad and nasty and asshole or a bitch. And yet there is much more to that. And a lot of times when I work with clients, we look at that. Okay, so what's your relationship with your boss? And we look, let's say 500 years ago or 1,000 years ago, they were on a battlefield and killed each other and promised to kill each other again. And then we look another 1,000 years before, in barbaric time, they killed each other again. So, and it goes from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime. And sometimes by using forgiveness, it just goes away. I've seen that when we use a prayer, the forgiveness prayer, and it melts the boundaries of that hate, that guilt, that shame, all of that. And suddenly the person goes to work, doesn't have that part of anger. And when he or she talks to the boss, there is no, like, there is a different connection. It is easier to communicate with that person. And it's that simple. It's time for our first break of the show. And you've been listening to Creating Abundance with Ease with myself, Dr. Helen Gitlevich, on Inspired Choices Network. When we return, we'll continue to talk about karma and forgiveness, and we'll start actually playing with those things. We'll be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email become a host at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Creating Abundance with Ease show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome, everyone. And I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease. And today our show topic is forgiveness and karma. It's more about Akashic field, about what can and cannot change about your karma. And if you're curious about that more, I do teach classes around the world and online. The next one is coming up in April. It's a basics of Akashic Records on April 17th and 18th. And it will be available online and live at this moment in Chicago, but it might change. What else is possible out there? And by the way, that one is from Access Consciousness, created by Dr. Dane here, Gary Douglas and Dr. Dane here. So karma. We talked a little bit about that karma is past unfinished business. And there was a question in chat. Can we go back and change the past karma? Absolutely. We can change anything because according to quantum mechanics, actually quantum physics, and you can check it out, time is not real. Past, present, and future actually occurring simultaneously. So by changing the present, we are automatically changing the past and the future. Changing the past, we're changing the future. Changing the future, we change the past, and so on and so forth. And mind-boggling, don't even try to understand it unless, as I said, you're a rocket scientist and you work with quantum mechanics or quantum physics. I kind of like when I try to grasp the idea, unless I'm in Akashic field, I cannot understand it. And saying that, when you are in that infinite field, infinite possibilities, Akashic field, you literally can see and know everything. By seeing, I'm talking more of awareness of energies. Sometimes it's through the words, sometimes through images. And it's so variable, so vast. It's mind-boggling, and mind pretty much shuts down when we go there. And as I said, you can experience Akashic field in your dreams, in meditation, doing every sort. There's like different trances people use, like trance dances, like very heavy vision class where they go without food, sometimes without water for days, and they finally enter that state of bliss. And I'm not kidding you, it is state of bliss, because when you open the records, you actually realize you're not alone in the universe, you're one with everything. And that goes beyond our comprehension. So let's taste it a little bit. Close your eyes. If you're driving, don't. Or if you're working. But if you're sitting at home or laying down, just close your eyes for a second. And open your crown and allow the light of the universe to go through your body, through your heart, and exit through your feet into the center of the universe. Pull the energy of earth through your feet, through your body, through your heart, and out of your head. And in the heart, see those two energies swirling, connecting and mixing. They might be different color, they might be the same color. Some people see universal energy as silver and earth as gold, or vice versa. Earth might be earthy color, and then universe could be a gold yellow light. So whatever you see or perceive, just allow it to move through your body and center in your heart. Bring your attention into your heart and allow those energies expand, kind of spill over like a fountain. So when the earth energy comes out of your crown, just allow it to spill into the universe. When the universal energy goes through your feet and goes to the earth, allow that to go through the center and spill out in the world. And allow yourself to expand and be as big as earth and big as be as the universe, and bring your attention into your heart space. And almost like step into your heart, kind of like see yourself maybe as a light, as a person, whatever it is, but your attention inside, and see that space transforming from just energy, or it might stay energy, but you might see it as a Garden of Eden that Bible was talking about. Or maybe it's somewhere in the woods, somewhere in nature, or somewhere on a planet that you've never been to, at least not physically. Somewhere where you are so comfortable that you're totally relaxed and totally present with everything that's going on. Notice any smells, any sounds, anything that is around you. See if there is anybody there. Might be an animal, might be someone or something. And see if you can say hi to them. If they say hi they'll say hi in return. Talk to them. See what they have to say to you. Is there a message? Is there a gift for you today? And just allow yourself to be with that. Kind of like just open to receive, open to possibilities, open to anything that's out there that's willing to gift you whatever you require right now. If your life is hard right now, if you have problems, ask that being if there is any way to change it. And just allow yourself to be with that. That might be a space where you first learn how to communicate with yourself, because that knowledge is not outside of yourself. It's you. It's part of you. It's part of the universe. You are a drop in the ocean and your ocean itself. What if you kind of like go and be with everything that's around you in that space? What do you see? What do you hear? What do you smell? How much of that is just being? Say thank you to the person or the being or whatever was there with you. If you received any information, fine. If you didn't, that's fine. A lot of times the information is energetic, and if you are not ready to hear it now, it will come later. You still got something, some download that you might not be aware in this 10 seconds, but you might still go on and create something different. Something else will show up, or you might attract something different. What if you just let it be? What if you don't have any points of view? What if you let go of all of that? And part of it, as Dr. Dane here says, you're a drop in the ocean, and your ocean itself, it's about being connected to everything. And just allow yourself to open your eyes and see if the world looks different right now. If it's a little bit brighter, if it's a little bit easier to deal with what is in your life. How much of that could be different? And it's time for our second break of the show. I was hoping to do forgiveness prayer right now, but we are breaking. You've been listening to Creating Abundance with Ease with myself, Dr. Helen Gitlevich, on Inspired Choices Network. And when we return, we'll talk more about forgiveness, what it is, and how to use it to change your karma. And we'll be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Magic and abundance are everywhere. What if you could tap into abundance and start creating your life with complete and total ease? Working with Dr. Helen Gitlevich will give you exactly that, total ease in creating abundance in your life. Dr. Gitlevich creates classes all over the world, both in person and online. She works with you to create abundance with your money, with your body, with your relationships, with all areas of your life with total ease. Connect with Dr. Helen Gitlevich at creatingabundancewithease.com. Her contribution in your world will be a noticeable gift in a very short period of time. This is the Creating Abundance with Ease show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease. And today our show topic is forgiveness and karma. Before we went on a break, we were talking about how you're connected with everything and everyone. And that's part of karma as well. It's kind of like what you're putting out, it comes back, but not the way you think about it. It's not linear. Because a lot of times, if you hurt somebody, and you say, oh, it will come back to me from that person. Not necessarily this lifetime, though. And sometimes it would come from another one that you heard 10,000 years ago. So it's not always like, oh, I hit somebody, and sometimes it is, but sometimes it takes years to get that you program. Actually, you're programming it into the universe because you believe that's what it's going to be. With forgiveness, it works similar. When you start clearing stuff with a forgiveness prayer, it actually unlocks not only what you did with the person in front of you, but it also undoes a lot of things that you've done in the past. So it changes everything in your future. As I said, it's a little like quantum physics, but it's more than that. Because we have programs running our lives, and those programs came from somewhere where we programmed ourselves, or because our brain is like a big computer. And when we die, the soul takes all of that, all of those memories, energetically, and transfer it into a new body. So if you feel guilty about something, that guilt will attract something similar, so you get punished for something you might not even did, but your belief system tells you did. So the forgiveness prayer is about choosing to let go of all those programming that you picked up throughout centuries. So let's do that now. It has 3 parts about what we did, what was done to us, and what we did to ourselves. So I allow the forgiveness of the universe to flow through me to cleanse me from anything that I have done, been, seen, heard to anyone or anything, consciously or unconsciously, in any time, space, dimension, or reality. I allow the forgiveness of the universe to flow through me to cleanse me from anything that I have experienced that was done, been, seen, heard to me by anyone or anything, consciously or unconsciously, in any space, time, dimension, or reality. I allow the forgiveness of the universe to flow through me to cleanse me from anything that I have done, been, seen, and heard to me, by me, consciously or unconsciously, in any time, space, dimension, or reality. Whew. I don't know about you, but I feel a little bit lighter, just a little bit. And I would like to do it again. But before I do that, I'd like to point a couple of things out, because we think of forgiveness in the biblical sense, where somebody hits us and we turn the other cheek. Totally not. It's the forgiveness is more about allowing it to melt. Instead of hitting somebody back who hit you, you just stand back and say, you know what? That doesn't work for me. Get away. I'm done with that type of behavior. If you do it again, I'm just going to kill you. But there is no, I'm going to kill you because you hurt me. I'm just going to kill you because you don't deserve to live on the planet. Because that's not what oneness is all about. So there is no perpetual gift. I mean, there is a perpetual gift in that you don't carry that guilt. Because if you do that out of pretty much that I'm going to punish them, then you have to be punished again. You create that loop of guilt where it doesn't work for anybody. But when you just like, oh, cool, I guess psychopaths do that, but it's not about being psychopath. It's about choosing what works for you, what doesn't work. And if you're being in that space of love, in that space of higher vibration, would you actually kill for pleasure? Probably not. You would actually be a contribution instead of kind of like that weird thing that doesn't work. So I'll do it again. I allow the forgiveness of the universe to flow through me, to cleanse me from anything that I have done, been, seen, heard to anyone or anything, consciously or unconsciously, in any time, space, dimension, or reality. I allow the forgiveness of the universe to flow through me, to cleanse me from anything that I have experienced that was done, been, seen, and heard to me by anyone or anything, consciously or unconsciously, in any time, space, dimension, or reality. I allow the forgiveness of the universe to flow through me, to cleanse me from anything that I have done, been, seen, and heard to me, by me, consciously or unconsciously, in any time, space, dimension, or reality. How does it feel for you? Is your body feels different? I wonder. I wonder how much are you holding on to the past guilt, shame, blame, regret, or to that anger, hate, and the vengeance that we carry out or it's been carried out against us? What if it doesn't have to be? What if it's just what is? Just something that was in the past, that we can leave in the past or clear it and let it go. We don't have to carry things with us. Think of those people, the hoarders, how much stuff they have in their house. Now think of you and how much are you hoarding those emotions, thoughts, and feelings and programs in your body? Are they working for you? If it works for you, fine, you can keep them. And by the way, if you're kind of like one of those people that like to feel guilt, I know there are certain cultures like Jewish culture are entrained to feel guilty no matter what it is. I feel guilt no matter what happens in the world. It's like, and Catholics, yeah, I had the comment, Catholics, and I'm pretty sure Muslims as well. Everybody has that intrinsic that because we are born, we're already sinful. And if you're a mother, you already did something wrong because your child is crying. There is so many things, so many programs that's been running our lives. And what if we don't have to live by those programs? What if we can let them go? And forgiveness is one of the keys to unlock it and let it go. Because a lot of things are connected to something that we are not allowing ourselves to forgive. Either ourselves, other people, other things. And sometimes it's not even toward the person. It might be toward the creator. Could be against God, against like that either guilt or blame. How come you took away that from me or that person from me? Because I've done it. When I was 10 years old, I blamed God for taking away my grandfather. I didn't realize he had a choice. He chose it. And yet I carried that for so many years that God, it was actually more like he didn't take you. He didn't, it's like, it wasn't he took him away. It's like he didn't save him. So I closed myself off from all that magic that the world has. From the, I think I was in Akashic field when I was a child, pretty much functioning there. But when he died, I said, you know what? It doesn't work for me. You took him away, you didn't save him. And I closed it. I had migraines for years because I would not let myself be open to the Akashic field, to the consciousness, to the awareness, just because I had that intense blame. And I also probably felt guilty that I didn't save him either, because I felt that I was magical and how come I did not save him too. So that forgiveness prayer helped me a lot. I've been doing Akashic Records work for about 24 years now. Actually, in about 2 weeks exactly, it will be 24 years since I took my first class in Akashic Records. And never regretted since, because it's been such a gift in my life. It allowed me to have the awarenesses where I probably would not, because function, or at least would not trust it. I might have had them, but I wouldn't trust myself to follow up on them, especially the ones when my child was teenager, 13, 14. And you know how teenagers are. She told me, I couldn't get away with anything with you. Because as soon as I would get that nudge, I was like asking Akashic Records, what is that? And they would explain. And it was true. And I would catch her or go someplace where she was and she told me she wouldn't be. All of that was kind of like creating that safety net for me as a parent. Not that I still didn't worry and felt guilty and shame and blame and regret, all of that. I still felt like I was a bad parent, especially with when I would discipline my child. It was interesting. And yet I used the prayers and it helped. It was different prayers at that time because I was going through a school of Akashic Record Consultant International, where I learned how to do it. Now I open my own school with the help of Akashic Records Masters, teachers, or that consciousness. And I was given different prayers. So this is one of them that I downloaded. It's hard to say how it came about, but it came into existence through Akashic Records. So I will read it again and then we'll go on a break. I allow the forgiveness of the universe to flow through me, to cleanse me from anything that I have done, been, seen, heard, to anyone or anything, consciously or unconsciously, in any time, space, dimension, or reality. I allow the forgiveness of the universe to flow through me, to cleanse me from anything that was done, been, seen, heard to me by anyone or anything, consciously or unconsciously, in any time, space, dimension, or reality. I allow the forgiveness of the universe to flow through me, to cleanse me from anything that I have done, been, seen, and heard to me, by me, consciously or unconsciously, in any time, space, dimension, or reality. And it is time for our third and final break of the show. Time flies. And you've been listening to Creating Abundance with Ease with myself, Dr. Helen Gitlevich, on Inspired Choices Network. We'll be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
This is the Creating Abundance with Ease show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease. And today our radio show is Forgiveness and Karma. And we talk about the prayer, the forgiveness prayer, and how much it can change your life. But it's not just forgiveness. It's about looking at what is going on in our lives, because a lot of times it's a reflection of what we are creating, either this lifetime or past lifetime. And it's about being us, being who we are, and looking at other people, our relationship. Is it working for us? It's not working for us. And how can we change it? There are a lot of prayers that change the situation with much ease. And going from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime, our soul actually chose to be with those people. They called soul families. We've been with those people. Everybody that you meet, even briefly, you've been around with. There is a familiarity with. And we actually will be talking more about karma and about past lives next week. We'll have a show called Is Death the End? So we'll talk more about past lives, how they affect our life, how it's not affecting our lives, and what can we do now to create more for us, either never to come back in the physical body if we choose to, or to come back into a life of joy and fun. And the funniest thing, because people say, what's my purpose? How can I finish my dharma? Because besides karma, there is also dharma. It's the belief that you have a certain purpose in life that you have to accomplish, and you come back from lifetime to lifetime until you accomplish that purpose. And every time when I would ask that question in the records, and records just that, was the records of all of that. And every client that asked that question, the answer was always the same. The purpose of life is to have fun. It's to enjoy life. It's not about living out of hardship, living out of struggles, endeavors, or literally creating your life as a series of accomplishments. Okay, you accomplished something. What's next? That's wonderful. But if you're not enjoying the accomplishment, is it worth to accomplish it? So when you're looking at that, when you actually forgive yourself for not accomplishing something that you've decided that you have to, it's about choosing your life. And I was talking to somebody recently, and there was an example of somebody like my daughter who is choosing pretty much in the moment. Um, she's in Mexico right now, enjoying life. She works from the beach. And she decided to stay longer. I'm like, okay. Well, it didn't pan out, but still. And people are like, yeah, you don't have to suffer. You can choose to enjoy life, even when there is hardship. What if the hardship is not real, but the creation based on your karma that's not real again? What if by using the forgiveness, you can change that and shift that? What if magic is real? Let's do the forgiveness prayer again. Actually, I think I might do another prayer, clearing energies of the past, and see how that affects you. Just check out. Don't believe me. I can lie, and it might not everything applies to you. So, clearing energy patterns of the past. Release me from the ties that bind me, that tie me to this earthly plane of existence and despair. Untie me from the ties that do not allow me to fly, and disconnect me from the world of despair and judgment. Allow me to be all that I am. Give me back my strength to create heaven on earth. And our show is coming to the end today, but I will be back next week with Is Death the End? What if there is no end to anything? What if everything is just a beginning of something new? Just like death might not be the end. What if it's about choosing more for you? And also check out my website, creatingabundancewithiz.com, because there are a few classes, or also accessconsciousness.com. There is a body class in Chicago that's coming up on April 2nd through 4th. I'm also hosting what's called the Party of Possibilities in Chicago of Global Foundation that Dr. Dane Hare and Gary Douglas are doing from April 30th to May 3rd. You might check that out. I'm doing clearings, access consciousness with Rachel Silber in Facebook group live, in a group being You Without Hiding. And also, if you'd like to find out more about me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and there is a Basics of Akashic Record on April 17, 18, a free Zoom, Me, My Body, and the World, that's coming on April 15, which is a free Zoom. Another free Zoom coming up on the 20th of April, and the 24 hours of Symphony of Possibility Tasters. That's going to be the Saturday, the 27th, that Dr. Dane here will start, and all the Symphony advanced practitioners will be doing every half hour throughout the 24 hours time frame, including me. I will be there at 9:30 Central Standard Time. And I hope to see you someday, either in person or online, in classes, out of classes, just on the street. And what if life is just about fun? And what if karma is not real and just you invented it just to create something where you continue suffering for some guilt or shame or blame that you created thousands of years ago that's not even relevant to you now? And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you for choosing to listen to Creating Abundance with Ease radio show. Dr. Helen Gitlevich will return next Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, have fun using the tools of the week in your life and start creating magic in your life and your body.